let's start with your central theme here, Cancer. It looks like the main theme for March for you is going to be Seven of Cups. Now, Seven of Cups is kind of a fun card. It's also the word dangerous is coming to mind, but it's really, I look at this card as like a card of gambling. It's a card that I always associate with Las Vegas. Like what you see is not necessarily what you get, and that's kind of the gambling aspect of it. You'll see in Seven of Cups, there's all these choices that are available to you. There is victory, there's gold and riches, there's castles in the air, there's a dragon here, a snake here, there's a woman here, which is, represents a partner. There's a mask of like who you want to be. So there's a lot of different choices, and they're kind of all glittering, but they don't necessarily all show up the way they appear. So it's a card of making careful choices. And it's ruled by Neptune. You can see all the fog here. See all the clouds? So it's kind of got this haze or this fog, like you're not quite seeing things clearly when this card comes about. So when I see this card, I always suggest do your research, check your facts, check things carefully, do a background check. Don't take things on a surface level. Sometimes this can be a card of infatuation where it's just like what looks good on the surface, what these shiny goblets are presenting to you might be what you want to reach for and grab, but it's not necessarily what it's presenting itself to be. Like this card can sometimes be like eating the cake instead of the meal, eating dessert all the time, or it's just a card of check reality before you make a decision. Don't make it based on flights of fancy. You might have lots of options available to you, so choose wisely is what this card says. And I'm going to say with this, look the horse in the mouth. Check that what's being presented to you is actually what's there, because this is a foggy Neptunian card, and Neptune is the planet that rules illusion. So what you see may not always be what you get when Seven of Cups comes up. So that's a theme for March for you, Cancer. What's in shadow is usually what we cannot see, what's not available to us, not in our conscious mind. And this is Hermit in shadow. So Hermit in shadow tells me that you may not be aware of how isolated you are, or you may not be aware of a certain truth that you need to strip other things away from to identify it. With these two coming up in tandem, in fact, even with this card here, this is a card of merriment, of socializing, of celebrating. This is like, drinking wine with your good friends or like-minded people, friends and family. It's celebration, it's festivities, it's revelry. And, this is a cups card too. It's sort of like the banquet that goes on and on and on. But this card is showing what you might be missing. It's saying that when you strip everything else away, the decadent flowers, the food, the riches, the gold, the castles in the air, all of that, what is really true? That's something that Hermit is consumed with, and that he's willing to strip away all the riches and all the external things of the world. He doesn't care about politics. He doesn't care about gossip. He doesn't care about fancy cars or TV or anything that is of the world. He wants to know what the truth is with a capital T. Therefore, he separates himself from the rest of the world and holds up this lantern, which is the truth, searching for the truth. And when he finds it, he holds it up for everyone else to see. So with this in shadow, because this is what you can't see and what's not necessarily available to you in your conscious mind, I'm going to say that there are some benefits that you may not be seeing by stripping away all of the external trappings of the world. There may be some hidden truths that you get to see if you kind of go off by yourself and get quiet and not participate in all the excesses that the world is trying to offer you and catch your attention with. So look at there's two ways that I'll read this. One is that look at what the benefits are that you're not realizing of stripping things down to their very core, their very essence, their very necessity of what they are. That's one possible reading. The other one is that because it's in shadow, there may be the lower aspect of hermit, which is isolation, that you're not seeing. So either someone else is isolated or you are, if you're not seeing your own loneliness, or if you're not seeing your disconnection from the rest of the world, that could also be hermit in shadow, where you're not seeing the need to look for the truth, the need to get quiet, the need to go within. So those are a couple of possibilities for hermit in shadow. So like I said, with this one is it's in the passing away position. So this is what will be dissolving. And this is friends and family. This is like-minded people. This is usually a social network. This is your friends. It could be people that you work with, like people in the office. But it's people like that you can imagine going out and celebrating with. Like, some people look at this as like the happy hour crowd that you go out and celebrate after work with. Or if you're artists, this could be fellow artists. Or, it's just people who support and love you. So this could even be your family. Like-minded people, I sometimes call it your tribe. And this is also a card of merriment and celebration. In the Rider-Waite, these three women are lifting up these cups and dancing. So it could be that the time for celebration and merriment is passing away, that things may be getting a little bit more serious. I kind of get, with these three cards here, that you may need to take a more serious approach, because this is all really lighthearted, fun, festive stuff. But you could be getting sort of swept up in the whipped cream, that there's not a whole lot of substance when you dig past that, like, where's the cake? That's kind of what I'm getting with hermit in the shadow position, is that you might have to dig a little deeper for the truth. You might have to just get quiet and look within to find out what's true and what's not. Because remember that Seven of Cups can also represent illusion. So if you want to get clear on what is really what, hermit can provide you with that. It's just that you're not necessarily seeing him right now. You're not connecting with him, but he's there. So you may just have to look within, is what I'm really getting from that in shadow. This is going to be there for you. You have these sparkling choices, but just make sure you choose wisely. Because this is sort of passing away, this party time, festivities, celebration. Not that all good things come to an end, but you may just have to get a little bit more serious about finding out what the truth of the situation is. That's going to help you make a good decision, Cancer. And then what's approaching is Nine of Coins in reverse. This is, I call this card luxury. This is someone who has had a lot of self-discipline, and therefore she's reaping now the rewards from having that discipline. Now, whether this means working hard, which is what we saw in Eight of Coins, the card before it. In the tarot, it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, just counts along. So the Eight of Coins is right here before it. That's working hard. And then this is enjoying the benefits of all that was created and earned. So sometimes Nine of Coins means tucking money away, enjoying things from your savings account, reaping the benefits of having the self-discipline of getting up, whenever you need to and doing what you need to do to create this financial wealth. She's eating grapes. She's wearing jewelry. She's a woman of leisure. She's in a garden. So with her in reverse here, it's saying that you may not feel like you've put yourself in a good position, potentially. Or it could say that you may have to lean on your savings account when you didn't expect to. You Cancers are usually good at tucking something away for a rainy day. So you may have to rely upon that in an unexpected way. Or it may be that you're not feeling capable of representing her or embodying her, that you're not feeling capable of being self-sufficient. So, there's just going to be some issues regarding Nine of Coins energy coming up for you. And it could be related to the decisions that you make here. So be careful about what decisions you make, because you want to address whatever it is that is not allowing this to show up in the upright position, whatever is causing it to show up in the reverse position. That usually has something to do with doubt, fear, resistance. Maybe you can't identify with this Nine of Coins person. You don't see yourself as someone who enjoys the good things in life, or who has extra spending money, or someone who lives a comfortable life. Maybe you need to work on embracing that and receiving that. That's a possibility, Cancer, because she's here. She's showing up for you. This is something that's coming into your future. It's approaching, but you may have to resist. You may have to let go of your resistance of it, or fear of it, or whatever it is that's blocking her from coming in an upright position. Think about that. What is your relationship to being self-disciplined, having money of your own, being self-sufficient, being comfortable from the work that you've done? That's kind of coming up as an issue for you, that's coming into your situation. And the more that you let go of any resistance of that, you will get to actually experience this. So that's my 2 cents on Nine of Coins. That's actually one of my favorite cards of the deck. Knight of Cups is your highlight. So this could very well be you, Cancer, expressing something. Knight of Cups is usually a water sign. So Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And he's the messenger. You can see he's wearing Hermes' winged helmet here. And Hermes is the messenger god. So it's usually a message of the heart, a message of emotion, because cups represent emotion. They represent the heart. They represent our feelings. And when he's coming, with his cup in his hand, it's sort of like saying, I have a message of love. I have a message of emotion. I'm sharing a message of something on the heart. So this could be you, Cancer, expressing a message of your heart to someone else. Or it could be a message of the heart coming to you, especially from a Scorpio or a Pisces. But this is what's highlighted for you for March, Cancer. So it's an expression of love in one way or another, either coming to you or coming from you. There's an exchange of you sharing something that's on your heart, or receiving something. This could be a messenger from someone else that's coming to you, that's highlighted. So lots of cups energy going on. That's emotion, that's heart energy. That's your element, Cancer, because you're a water sign. So it looks like it's going to be a comfortable month from what I'm seeing, but you're really going to have to address what is true. What are you not seeing? What is a truth you're not seeing, that you may need to get quiet and separate yourself off from all this sparkly, fun, festive, whipped cream, indulgence, celebratory stuff, to make a good decision and actually put yourself in Nine of Coins situation. You do have some loving energy going on. So that's my central shadow highlight reading for you for March. And then let's look at the weeks. We've got Four of Swords for week 1. And Four of Swords usually means taking a break, taking a rest. I call this card R&R, just taking a moment to rest and recoup, to fight another day. You can see this soldier who's taking time out from battle. He's hanging the swords up on the wall, which literally, the swords represent thoughts and ideas and beliefs. So this can be a real card of meditation. Like just putting your swords up, hanging your swords up on the wall, not using them for a moment, not engaging with your thoughts, but just letting these clouds pass by. So usually this is a card of rest, regeneration, relaxation, recharging, all those words that it's taking a moment sometimes I'll even say, even God rested on the seventh day. So take a moment to relax, recharge, rejuvenate yourself. It's going to help you. In reverse, what it's telling me is you feel like you can't take a rest. You can't, there's some resistance to taking a time out. There's some resistance. It's almost a feeling of you need to always be busy or busy work. That you're in motion and in action for the sake of being in action. It could either be that you're resisting taking a break and you're not wanting to relax or recharge, or you don't feel like you can. Or Four of Swords in the reverse position can also mean that you are stuck in a funk and that you have been in an inactive position for too long, that you have been resting and recharging, but you're kind of stuck there. So remember that the upright position means a natural expression of the card's energy. The reverse is that the energy is there, but it's blocked or being resisted. It's in delay. There's some fear or some doubt or something that's holding it under the surface from serving its natural function. So Four of Swords in reverse for the first week of March tells me that you either need to take a break if you haven't taken one, or if you've been on a long break, it may be time to take action again. You have to allow yourself to get recharged and relax. Don't resist that. Don't be fearful of that. It's actually going to help you to do that. And then if you have been resting for a long time, it may not be serving you anymore. It may be that it's now that you've recharged, it's now going in an opposite direction where it's causing you to have inertia, where it's making it difficult to go back into action. So consider that. Use a rest to help you during the first week of March, Cancer. Don't be afraid of taking a break if you need to. It also has to do with this theme of stepping outside of the world. So that might be a very good thing for you to do. Just reflect. Second week of March, I have Hierophant in the reverse position. So Hierophant is someone he is a spiritual authority. He has to do with society and the outer mores of society, how we function in society, conventionality, tradition, things that are rules that are passed down from generation to generation. But he does have spiritual insight. So when I see this card show up in reverse, it means that things may be unconventional. They may be untraditional. There may be ways in which tradition is turned on its head. So if you've always done something the same way over and over again, this is an opportunity, second week of March, to do things differently. Because Hierophant is, it's like bucking the system. It's saying, challenge authority, challenge tradition, challenge the normal ways of doing things, question authority, challenge the norm is what Hierophant in reverse says, especially if it has to do with any themes of, tradition, religion, perhaps even spirituality. There's something where it's saying a new door is being unlocked. Try out a different way, experiment, step away from the crowd. That's the theme for you for second week of March, Cancer. If you want to try something new, if you've always done things the same way and it's getting you in a rut, this could be a good ticket out of that. Is try something different, try something new, try something that if you've done, again, like if you've done something over and over again, if it's become sort of like a convention for you, or almost like an unwritten law, try doing something different. It might be helpful for you, and it might actually help you turn this around too. It might help you access this Nine of Coins energy. These are in the same line. Third week of March. This is a sweet card, Cancer. This is Six of Cups, which is childlike sweetness, kindness, naivety, sentimentality. It's the sweetness of children who are exchanging cups that are filled with flowers. So it's like when two children give to each other. It's also a card of sentimentality, so it's kind of like looking back to the past, which is something that you Cancers can sometimes tend to do. This can be like a reunion with someone. It could be someone from your past showing up, especially like an old childhood friend. It's just a very sweet, tender card. It's full of compassion, full of the feelings that we get when we see two children who are sharing and giving to one another. And it's full of innocence. There's no cynicism whatsoever in this card. It's just that tender part of our hearts that never has grown hard. And you Cancers know about that. You know, even if you're a Cancer with a hard outer shell and a soft inside, this is about the soft inside part. And cups represent emotion in the heart. So this is like accessing the tender side of yourself. So that's a lovely card for you, Cancer. Third week of March. There may be something where you're thinking about the past fondly and with some sentimental feelings. And then the last week of March, Cancer, this is Seven of Swords, which this has to do with cutting corners, taking risks. Seven of Swords, you know, it's funny, it's normally a card that has some negative connotations to it, like criminality or me behavior, or like I'm going to look out for myself and forget everyone else. I don't care if I have to cut corners to do it. For some reason, I'm getting the sense that this is risk-taking in a good way for you. Again, I'm kind of seeing it in line with this card doing things in a different sort of non-conventional way. Nine of Coins, you know, allowing this Nine of Coins, its energy in of being self-sufficient. That's one thing that Nine of Coins and Seven of Swords share is self-sufficiency. So if you're having trouble accessing that, this is a risk-taking card, taking risks, you know? He's like, I'm going to get it, whatever it takes. I'm going to make sure my bases are covered. And, you know, I'm not promoting that you steal like he is, but what I'm saying is that sometimes you do need to put yourself first. And sometimes you do need to take a risk and get out of your comfort zone. That's what this card is saying. You know, this is the comfort zone. This is tradition, conventionality. He's got all the robes. This is the guy who's not in his comfort zone. He's constantly looking over his shoulder. He's constantly just having to, he's kind of like this scrappy character that's looking to get his needs met. Kind of also the opposite of her. But what they do both share is self-sufficiency. So him in a dishonorable way, her in an honorable way. That's the difference. And she actually has a lot. He has to steal because he doesn't have, you know, he hasn't provided for himself. But what I like about this card for you for the end of March is it's saying take a risk. Step out of your comfort zone. Do something different. That might help you connect with the Nine of Coins energy. It might help you turn this around.